Hello, John Bloodworth Gentleman Crafter here with the assembly instructions for your clutch bag style card with sentiment waterfall. So you've just seen a very quick preview there. Let's take a closer look. So we've got something that looks a bit like a clutch bag or an envelope. We undo the Velcro fastening, open out the card, and then we have a large area for a sentiment or a poem at the bottom, and then a hidden waterfall mechanism inside the card where you can add something fun to extend that sentiment. You can of course choose to put the waterfall at the bottom and the sentiment at the top, or vice versa. So you've got a bit of variety going on here. So the parts come in various bits and pieces. Obviously you'll cut them out and add the sentiments if you want to. With those sentiment panels, if you're drawing the sentiment on the same colour card as you use for the panel itself, you might want to ink the edges to make them stand out. Same for the sentiment, the large sentiment panel. Now for the waterfall mechanism, you've got two pieces. You've got this piece here, which has a decorative layer stuck to it at the end where there are no score lines. The part with the score lines and the legs folds over the top of that. I'll explain more in a second. This is the second part of the mechanism. And then you have the card itself. So on the front or the outside, you've got the continuous paper covering, and then on the inside we'll stick one piece down already, the decorative layer, and then once we've constructed our waterfall we can decide whether we're going to put it at the top or the bottom, or of course the sentiment can go at the top or the bottom. In this case I'll do the opposite of what I did at the start of this video, and I'll put the poem in the middle of the card, and then I'll put the waterfall, once it's constructed, in the bottom section. In all honesty, you could actually make two poem sections or two waterfall sections. That could be kind of a cool alternative idea. Now for the waterfall, place this large panel underneath and center up that decorated area, as you see me doing here. Fold over the part that's got the score lines and the legs, then turn the whole thing over, holding it in place carefully. And you're going to apply glue or tape to the tabs, and then fold those over to stick them to the larger piece. I chose to use glue here just to give myself some wiggle time in case when I turned it over it had slipped. But if you've got a tape runner and you're fairly confident, you can just go for it. So once that's stuck down, we need to stick the sentiments in place. Now they're going to run left to right, but we're going to stick them in reverse order. I'll show you what I mean. I'll do the first one a bit slow and then I'll speed up for the others. So between the last scoreline on the right and its neighbour, you're going to put some glue or double-sided tape in between those two dashed scorelines, so that the right hand edge of that sentiment panel meets the right hand edge of those leg parts from the waterfall mechanism. Now I'll just speed up, and basically you're going to apply glue to each section of that waterfall and stick the corresponding sentiment panel to it. Like so. And then just give it a quick test to make sure it's all smoothly running. And that's that part constructed. Next we just need to stick it into the card. So again, glue, tape, whatever you fancy. Just make sure that it's going to give you a strong hold, because this bit obviously is going to get fiddled with a lot, so you'll want to make sure it's stuck in firmly. It has a slight border around the outside edge, so make sure it's centrally positioned within the card, or within that section, and then hold it in place until it has fully stuck. There you go, so you can see better there. And then you'll fold the bottom piece up. If you're using a Velcro dot to make a fastening, then now would be a good time to pop that in. Stick it in place on the top flap, and then fold over so that its partner meets the bottom. And that, believe it or not, is the card constructed. You can of course decorate the front with a bow or a buckle or whatever you fancy, and inside you don't need much more than a few gems. So it's a nice easy one to put together. And of course you can handwrite the sentiments, use your machine to write the sentiments, whatever you do, or even stamp them out. Whatever you do, just make it yours or make it suited to the person that's going to receive it. Anyway, that's this week's project. I hope you enjoy making it, and I look forward to seeing what you do make.